On the night of January 20th, 2019, 29-year-old Arjun Sood and his wife Jessica put their 7-month-old son Oliver to bed inside their Illinois home. Like many parents, they relied on a Nest baby monitor to keep an eye on him from their phones. Their entire house was packed with smart technology: 17 cameras, smart thermostats, motion sensors, thousands of dollars worth of security devices, all connected to one account. But that night, the system protecting their family became the thing terrorizing them. While standing outside Oliver's nursery, Arjun suddenly heard a deep male voice speaking through the baby monitor directly to his son. He rushed into the room, expecting to find someone hiding inside. Nobody was there. Thinking it might be interference, they grabbed Oliver and headed downstairs. But then Jessica noticed something horrifying. The thermostat inside the nursery had been remotely turned up to 90 degrees, and Oliver was drenched in sweat. Before they could even process what was happening, the voice returned. This time it came through another Nest camera downstairs. The stranger started screaming insults and racial slurs while watching them live through their own security cameras. Then the voice said, "Why are you looking at me? I see you watching me." That's when Arjun realized someone had hacked into their Nest account and gained control over every camera and device inside the home. He confronted the hacker through the two-way audio, asking where he was from. The voice simply replied, "India," then silence. The family disconnected the cameras and called police immediately. But later, they discovered they weren't the only victims. Other Nest users reported hackers speaking through cameras, fake missile attack warnings, and strangers threatening to kidnap children through nursery monitors. The terrifying part? Most victims never even knew someone was watching. In April 2020, Shauna Donnie received a phone call from ADT that completely shattered her sense of safety. The company told her that the technician who installed her indoor security camera 6 years earlier had secretly kept access to it the entire time. For 6 years, he could watch inside her home whenever he wanted, and Shauna's family wasn't alone. More than 200 households were affected. The technician, named Telesforo Aviles, had discovered a loophole in ADT's system. During installations, technicians could temporarily add their own email address to customer accounts for testing purposes, but Aviles never removed himself. Instead, he stayed connected to hundreds of homes across Texas. According to court records, he repeatedly targeted houses with young women and teenage girls. He logged into some homes hundreds of times. One family discovered he had accessed their cameras over 300 separate times. Another teenage girl later learned he had watched her while she changed clothes and got ready for bed. For years, families trusted ADT cameras to protect their homes, while one of the company's own employees was secretly spying on them. In 2021, Aviles pleaded guilty to federal computer fraud charges and was sentenced to over 4 years in prison. But by then, the damage had already been done. No one truly knew how much he had seen. Rana Hamer lived alone in a quiet town in the Netherlands with her dog. Wanting an easy way to check on her pet while she was out, she bought a cheap indoor security camera from a local discount store. It cost around €35. The camera could rotate remotely, stream live footage to her phone, and even let her speak through a built-in speaker. To Rana, it seemed like a harmless little gadget. But one evening in September 2017, everything changed. After returning home from the supermarket, she was unpacking groceries in the kitchen when she heard a strange electronic voice coming from the living room. At first, she thought the camera might be glitching, but when she walked into the room, she saw the camera physically moving on its own, slowly rotating, scanning the room. Then it stopped. The lens pointed directly at her, and a man's voice suddenly came through the speaker. "Bonjour, madame." Rana froze. She nervously asked who was there, but no one answered. Instead, the camera started tracking her movements as she walked across the room. Then the voice returned. "Hello, madam. Is everything all right?" At that point, panic kicked in. Rana ran toward the device and ripped the power cord out of the wall. Later that night, she invited a friend over and decided to test the camera again while recording the interaction on her phone. The moment they plugged it back in, the camera began moving almost immediately. Once again, it locked onto Rana, and the stranger started speaking through it in real time. The footage quickly spread across social media and exploded across Dutch news outlets. People were horrified by how casually someone had invaded her home. But what investigators discovered afterward was even worse. A tech journalist looked into the security camera company and found that every single camera shipped with the exact same default password. That meant anyone who downloaded the app could connect to random cameras around the world within minutes. No hacking skills required. The device ID was printed directly on the bottom of each camera, and the password was identical for every customer. The company technically mentioned changing the password inside the instruction manual, but the app itself never forced users to update it during setup. Most people never even realized they were vulnerable. When journalists tested other cameras from the same manufacturer, they successfully connected to multiple random homes almost instantly. Families were unknowingly being watched by complete strangers through cameras sitting inside their bedrooms and living rooms. And the scariest part? Most victims probably never heard a voice, which means they may have never known anyone was there at all. Farial Nigam thought she was living in a luxury smart home. Everything inside the house was automated. Lights, security cameras, speakers, heating, TVS. Every device could be controlled remotely through one connected system. At first, it felt futuristic. Then the relationship with her partner started falling apart. He moved away to another city, but he still controlled the entire smart home system remotely. That's when the nightmare began. In the middle of the night, heavy metal music would suddenly blast through every speaker in the house at full volume. Lights flickered on and off by themselves. TVs switched on randomly. At first, Farial thought the system was malfunctioning, but then her ex started texting her details he should never have known. What she was wearing, who she was with when she came home. He had been using the smart devices to monitor her every movement from miles away. At one point, she begged him through a phone call, "Please stop manipulating the lights." His response terrified her. "I'm going after the dogs, and then I'm going after you." Farial eventually fled the home and moved into a women's shelter because there was no other way to escape the surveillance. The house designed to make life easier had turned into a prison controlled by someone else. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more real horror stories and disturbing true cases. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss an upcoming video.